Even though Jinger Duggar has 18 siblings, he stays in touch with them all on a regular basis. The 31-year-old former cast member of 19 Kids and Counting was asked which of her siblings she speaks to the most during a Q&A session on Thursday, August 28. "I talk to my older sisters the most, but aside from that, I only had Jennifer out here. I had a great time hanging out with her. That was a lot of fun, and my dad and Jackson also came through," Jinger said. "They stayed here for a while. It was a blast when she was here for that month," Jinger adding that we clicked because Johanna's husband, Austin Forsyth, needed to finish some job. "And I don't know because I talked to Jessa, Johannah, Jill, Joy, the girls," the former TLC star concluded. "Later, when my brothers come to visit us. A great time is had. And I love each and every one of them." Most of the Duggar siblings still live in Arkansas. However, Jinger Duggar and her husband Jeremy Vuolo moved to Laredo, Texas, after getting married in 2016. They moved to California more than 2 years ago, and now they are proud parents to 3 children: 5-month-old Finn, 4-year-old Evangeline, and 6-year-old Felicity. Despite living far from her family, Jinger is actively involved in her siblings' lives and maintains regular communication with them. Her older sister Jenna, who is 35 years old, and her husband Stephen Wisman are expecting their first child. The good news was lately answered by her. "I am fully behind my sister Janum Duggar and her husband Stephen Wisman," Jinger revealed herself on her Instagram stories. "I promise to be the best aunt ever and can't wait to meet this adorable little one." Several of Jinger's siblings have appeared on their journeys to California for Jinger and Jeremy's podcast of the same name. These include the 27-year-olds Johanna and Jessa, as well as the brothers Jason and Maddie Duggar. Jinger, 37, and Jeremy, 37, have visited Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's house in Arkansas. "Loves going back to visit," was something Jinger said in a July podcast. "It's overwhelming because they live so far away," she said. "At the moment, only a few of our siblings live far away. When you return home after spending some time away from loved ones, everyone is excited to see you. Juggling everyone who wants to get in touch with you might be really difficult." Jinger later remarked that it was nice to be back at that ancestral home and just to visit family. "Spending time with my younger siblings brings me the most delight. It gives me pleasure to see how they have grown and what interests them now. Because those once young ones are now grown-ups, and it's been a while since I left. I can't image the little children as teenagers or adults when I look at them now. That's quite crazy." The Duggar family has won over audiences worldwide with its distinct and frequently contentious family dynamics thanks to their reality TV shows 19 Kids and Counting On. Fans have focused on the Duggar family's morals, family life, and the close friendship between the siblings since the beginning of their ascent to prominence. Every member of the Duggar family has their own personality, connections, and preferences, even if their lives are well publicized. The interaction between the siblings in the Duggar family is among its most intriguing features. It's normal to question how these siblings manage their connections with each other, who they're closest to, and who they talk to the most when there are so many children in the family. One of the family's more vocal and self-reliant members, Jinger Duggar, recently revealed whose siblings she speaks to the most. Her disclosure offered some unexpected insights into the inner circle of the Duggar family and allowed fans a closer look at her personal relationships inside the family. A look inside Jinger Duggar's life. Jinger Duggar has long been a favorite among fans because of her independence and choice to deviate from some of the more customary Duggar family customs. She left the Duggar family's home base in Arkansas in 2016 to marry Jeremy Vuolo, and the two have since made Los Angeles their home. Jinger has been able to adopt a more contemporary lifestyle as a result of her relocation, which has increased her exposure to novel concepts and given her more chances for personal development. Over time, Jinger's connection with her family has changed. Although she was brought up with a conservative outlook and a rigid set of rules, her marriage to Jeremy has inspired her to think more freely and adopt a wider perspective. Many followers who have followed her on social media and through her TV appearances have found resonance in her path. She is one of the most relatable Duggar offspring because she has spoken up about her marriage, motherhood, and her religious beliefs. The dynamic of the Duggar family. The relationships between the siblings in the Duggar family are among its most fascinating features. The Duggar children had to learn how to build strong relationships despite the bustle of everyday life because they grew up in such a huge family. There will inevitably be a range of personalities, interests, and preferences with 19 children. Even though the family has always placed a high value on family and their strong Christian religion, there are various factors that affect who gets along with whom and how much time they spend together. The Duggar siblings span a broad age range, and many of them have gone on to have their own families. Some of them have moved for a variety of reasons, but others still reside in the same area of Arkansas. The Duggar children are pursuing their own careers as adults, which occasionally causes siblings to naturally drift apart, particularly when they are in different phases of life. In light of this, Jinger's disclosure regarding the siblings she talks to the most is very fascinating. Her remarks provide a unique and intimate glimpse into the dynamics of the Duggar family and reveal the deeper bonds she has with some of them. The bond between Jinger and her siblings. Despite having a large family, Jinger Duggar revealed in an interview that she maintains solid and reliable ties with several of her siblings. She did, however, share which of her siblings she talks to the most, which provided some unexpected insights into her strongest familial ties. Jinger says she has a special bond with her sisters, Jill and Jessa. Her life has always been surrounded by these two siblings, and their bond has only gotten closer with time. Jinger disclosed that she regularly exchanges messages with Jessa and Jill, offering guidance and encouraging words. Jinger has remained close to them despite their different life paths, such as Jessa's hectic family life with her husband Ben Seewald and their kids and Jill's recovery from a challenging few years. I talk to Jessa and Jill the most, but I love them all, Jinger said. I believe that the reason we share a special bond is because we have experienced so much together. She added that she appreciates their mutual support, particularly in regards to their faith and personal development. As both women have matured into maturity while negotiating the difficulties of marriage and parenting, Jessa, a mother of 4 and longtime spouse of Ben Seewald, has experienced a similar journey to Jinger. Fans have observed the strong bond between the two sisters, who frequently post intimate moments on social media. Jinger and Jessa have a close bond, as evidenced by their support of one another, especially when she navigates her job as a mother to several children. Conversely, Jill has faced her fair share of difficulties. Together with her husband, Dillard, she has pursued her own career and life path after escaping the rigid upbringing of the family. Although there has been some conflict with other Duggar family members as a result of Jill's decision to distance herself from specific family dynamics, Jinger's bond with her has remained strong. According to Jinger, they frequently discuss faith, family, and their common experiences as mothers. The two sisters have a special affinity since they both understand the difficulties they've encountered as women in the spotlight, and Jill has been incredibly supportive of Jinger's life in Los Angeles and her journey with Jeremy. Jinger stated that she cherishes the time she spends with her other siblings, including her younger brothers and sisters, even if she is obviously close to Jessa and Jill. According to Jinger, she frequently discusses her siblings' experiences with them and takes solace in the knowledge that, in spite of their divergent paths, they can always unite to support one another. The bond between Jinger and her parents. The bond between Jinger and her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, is still very strong, but it has changed as Jinger has grown more self-reliant. Jinger has stated that while she still holds her parents and their lessons in the highest regard, she still appreciates her independence. Jinger's own morals and ideas, which occasionally diverge from her parents' conventional viewpoints, have had more room to develop after she married Jeremy and they moved to California. Jinger and her parents continue to have a loving connection in spite of these differences. She frequently expresses gratitude for their leadership and assistance in her life, and it is obvious that she is loyal to them. Jinger's love for her family and her desire to stay true to herself are clear in her relationships with her parents, even though they may not always agree on everything. What can we learn about Jinger's character from this? A lot about Jinger's character and priorities can be inferred from her candor regarding which siblings she talks to the most. She obviously cherishes her ties with Jessa and Jill, but she also adores her entire family. These relationships are based on years of mutual support and similar experiences, particularly in relation to the difficulties faced by women who are deeply religious. Given how candid she is about her relationships with her siblings, Jinger appears to be someone who values close, meaningful relationships and isn't scared to put them first despite hectic schedules and family dynamics. Furthermore, Jinger's readiness to talk candidly about her siblings demonstrates her development as a person and her changing sense of self. It's evident that she is applying the skills she learned from her parents to cultivate her own special relationships with the individuals who are most important to her as she continues to forge her own way in the world.